Hey everybody, welcome to Grace with Paul Gray. Today I want to talk to you about the saying that things aren't what they always seem to be. Have you noticed that? A lot of times we can look at something and think, well, that's the way it is, and it's not that way at all. There's a great biblical example for this. Back in the Old Testament, Israel wanted a king, and God didn't want him to have kings, but he wanted him to have a direct relationship with him. But all the other countries had kings, so they wanted one. So God said, all right, I'll show you what happens when you get a king. And he picked a guy by the name of Saul, who was taller than anybody else, was good looking, and everybody thought, oh, wow, great, we got a great king now. Well, Saul didn't work out so well. He had to be replaced. And Samuel, who was God's man, the spiritual leader of the country, God spoke to him and said, we've got to replace Saul. I want you to go to this guy named Jesse. Jesse's got a bunch of sons, and one of them is going to be the new king. And I'll show you which one. So he goes to him, tells him why he's there, and he has him line up all of these boys. He had a bunch of them, and he had some grown sons who were fighting age. They were in the military, and they were big, strong, strapping guys, good looking and everything. God told Samuel, none of them. He had them all, line them all up. And he said, nope, 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 nope. And so finally he said, got any more boys? And Jesse said, well, yeah, I got one little kid out taking care of some sheep. Samuel said, let's go take a look at him. And God said, he's the one. Nobody could believe it except Samuel, because he trusted God. 1 Samuel 16:17. The Lord does not see as mankind sees, for people look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. We people tend to look at the outside, what appears to be, but God looks at the inside, at the heart. And we learn in 2 Corinthians 5 that Paul finally gets it, and he says, I've learned no more to look at people from an outward appearance, from the flesh, from the way they act or what appears to be. I only see them now as God does. Well, what does God see when he looks at your heart? What does he see when he looks at your spouse's heart, your kid's heart, your parents' heart, your neighbor's heart, your boss's heart, your co-worker's heart, that hard-to-get-along relative's heart? What does God see? Well, first of all, I think you know by now, God sees them as being in Christ, everybody. Second of all, he sees them just like he sees you, exactly like he sees you. Perfect, pure, holy, without fault, right with him. They probably don't know that yet, but God knows it. But how does God see them specifically? Want to know? Ask him. Ask him. This is one of the great things that I've learned from some other people. I certainly didn't come up with this. But we just ask him. Just say, Jesus, what do you want me to know about this person today? This person I'm going to have lunch with, or this person I'm married to, or this person who's my child, or this person I'm going to work with or teach with or whatever. God, what do you want me to know about this person today? What do you want me to say to them? What do you want me to do for them? Then listen, and then obey. Sometimes God won't say anything, but if there's something specific that he wants you to say to them or do for them or help them with, or if there's something specific that he wants you to know about them, he may say something very specific, like they're really hurting because of a financial situation or something like that. Now, we don't want to go to that person and have lunch with them and say, well, God told me that you're hurting money-wise, so tell me about it. Obviously not. But Jesus will speak through us. He'll listen as us. He'll speak as us and through us. And he'll provide the right moment when the right thing comes up and we can say, oh, are you having some challenges there? Want to talk about that? I had that happen with me a couple of weeks ago with a friend of mine. And I just happened to, I'm not going to go into details because that person would know I'm talking about him and I don't want to break a confidence, but something that happened earlier in the day, I was able to perceive that they were struggling with something, and so we made arrangements to get together. We did, and had a really, really good time together, listening and talking and caring for each other. And, God was able to use me, I'm grateful for and humbled by, was able to use me to help my friend. God will do that with you too, and He wants to do that. So, point for today. Don't take things as they seem to be. They're generally not that way. And to know the way things really are, ask God, and He'll tell us. Hope this is helpful, folks. See you next time.